Doing well. My name is Ari. I'm a partner account manager here at StorageCraft Asia Pacific, and thank you very much for attending the webinar today. So what we're going to be discussing today, of course, is the IT Edition and how it is an essential tool for migration projects. Now, first, I will start off by saying that while we do demonstrate all of our solutions, the IT Edition is something that we don't usually demonstrate, so I apologize for that. But what I've developed for you guys is a PowerPoint presentation which will go through the key advantages of the IT Edition and the IT Edition Pro, so we can discuss the wide range of uses for the actual tools, basically how it can add value to any business and its backup and DR operations. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. Just open up our presentation. Excellent. So what the ShatterProtect IT Edition provides, of course, is unlimited disaster recovery, data protection, and system migration for all Windows systems. It's able to do a lot of things on its own, which can benefit your IT operations. But for any users who are already using ShatterProtect on servers, desktops, virtuals, etc., the IT Edition can do some complementary things as well, which you might not have noticed. So it's advantageous in a lot of different aspects. So I'm going to get into that. So what does it enable? The IT Edition, first of all, is a tool. It's a USB dongle, and all the software actually will sit on the dongle. And with that software, you can perform unlimited full backups and bare metal recoveries of Windows server desktops and laptops. This, of course, also means that you can perform near zero impact server migrations. And of course, because we're fully hardware independent, it doesn't matter whether you're going from physical or virtual, whether you're going P to V or V to V or V to P, whatever the migration might be, the IT Edition enables you to do that. It enables you, of course, to do the backup, do the restore, and do the migration in between those different environments. It also contains a disk copy feature for volume restores. So if you have some kind of corruption in the volume, you just go to the previous backup or from the IT Edition and can restore that to the same drive. Of course, you can also perform the backup software free, which is because everything sits on the dongle. It'll come with the quick mount, of course, so you can recover the files and folders in seconds from those IT Edition backups. And what we've recently done is we've implemented the IT Edition Pro, which does everything the IT Edition does, but a lot more in the Exchange recovery and migration space. And I'll go through that pretty soon. Of course, with the latest upgrade, the IT Edition is able to support the operating systems all the way up to Server 2012, R2, and Windows 8, as well as greater support for UEFI systems and GPT disk partition. So now I'm going to discuss the difference between the IT Edition and the IT Edition Pro. Of course, the IT Edition is able to do all the backup recovery, migration, etc. The IT Edition Pro can do exactly the same stuff, but it also comes with an unlimited license of our ShatterProtect granular recovery for Exchange tool. Now, what does this enable you to do in addition to the typical IT Edition functionalities? Well, of course, the IT Edition will allow you to take unlimited Exchange server backups, but the GRE tool will actually enable you to perform unlimited Exchange recoveries, because that GRE license that you have on the IT Edition will not be assigned to a single Exchange server. You can assign it to as many different Exchange servers and as many different Exchange databases as you like during the subscription period. So like the IT Edition Pro, the IT Edition Pro has not only unlimited backups, but also unlimited Exchange recoveries. And this might include emails, calendar items, contacts, anything from within Exchange. And the latest version, of course, will allow you to perform unlimited Exchange migrations. So as many of you might know, performing an Exchange migration, especially if you're going from a really old version to a newer one, can be really, really hassle-filled, essentially. If you're going from 2003 to 2010 or 2013, you'll need to upgrade every step of the way. Whereas with the IT Edition, the handy drag and drop nature of the application means that all you need to do is when you have the GRE console up, you can literally just drag the original ADB into the new Exchange server, and the migration will be done via a simple drag and drop. So it's very quick and very easy in that respect, and the Pro gives you unlimited abilities to do that. It also supports all Exchange versions from 03 all the way to 2013, and of course includes the search functionality, including advanced search, so it's easy to find missing Exchange items. So that's what the IT Edition and the IT Edition Pro can enable. Let's take a look at some scenarios where these tools might come in handy. So the first one, of course, is when you're migrating production servers from a physical environment to a virtual environment. We're using this as an example, of course. You can go between any environment you like. So let's say that we have an end user who needs to migrate however many servers, let's say 20 to 25 servers, from a physical environment into a new virtual environment. With the IT Edition, that technician can back up and restore an unlimited amount of machines. In addition, those backups can be done without installing any software. So instead of having to go on each of those servers, install the software, then do the backups, you just need to plug in the IT Edition, do the full backups, and then you can perform the restores as well. And because, of course, our backups are exact copies of the original servers, including the OS, the applications, and the settings, the new restores will be able to not only be tested, but they can also be run in parallel with the original machines before we perform the shutdown and actually roll over to the new virtuals. So, of course, it can assist you migrating machines across mixed environments. So let's say you've got some physicals and you'd like to migrate some to virtual, but you'd also just like to move the original physicals, some of them, for example, to a new physical environment. Let's say you bought these brand new HP servers, you're moving away from your Dell ones, and you want to go from to dissimilar hardware. Because, of course, we're fully hardware independent, when you back up a machine, doesn't matter if it's physical running on Dell, you can restore it to a virtual environment running Hyper-V or VMware, or you can even restore it into a new physical environment with a different brand of server. You can resize the partitions, you can perform hardware-independent volume restores so that the restore itself in between those different environments is as seamless as possible. The hardware-independent nature, of course, will allow you to inject all the necessary drivers for these machines so they can function in the new environment. Of course, because we're performing full systems backup, the machines will be running in their exact original state. And in the virtual environment, of course, we'll take those snapshots at the client or the guest level and perform a restore into the blank virtual machines. So as you can see, the migration tool is very simple, very straightforward, and extremely flexible in between different environments. Another key use of the IT Edition, of course, is to copy and clone a golden machine to another one. So let's say, for example, you're doing a massive laptop or a desktop rollout. All you need to do is engineer the one perfect machine with all the applications that are necessary, all of everything that, for example, an outbound sales representative or consultant would need. All you need to do is use the IT Edition to take the snapshot of that golden machine and then just simply restore it to the laptops or the desktops in the rollout. So it's literally just once you have that one backup, you can roll it out on as many different machines as you like. And then, of course, it's just a matter of licensing the Windows OS, etc. And while you're doing that, of course, you can create new user profiles in Active Directory. So when the machines are fully restored and brought up, the employees can begin using their laptops straight away. Another couple of uses, of course, rolling back when applying a new code to a mission-critical server. So you can do this in two ways. This means that if you're going to be making changes to a mission-critical server and something potentially has the ability to happen, and this is relevant for, resellers and end users. If you're going to be making any major upgrades, installing new service packs or applications, and you're not sure how it's going to work, use the IT Edition, take the full backup. If anything goes wrong, if it blue screens, if there's a massive issue, you've got that full backup on hand. So all you need to do is do a restore of it and you have it back up and running in exactly the same form as the time before you actually worked on it. Of course, alternatively, you can do the full backup, take it to another machine and then spin it up, and then you can do the changes on there, see if that works. If it does work, then you can apply the changes to the mission critical server. So there's a couple of different ways in which you can use it, but using it to take the full backup before major work is done is definitely a key use of the IT Edition. And I would say that's something that a lot of resellers and end users who are using the IT Edition actually use it. And of course, obtaining reliable backups from a server before imminent hardware failure. So, and this might be if you don't trust the server, maybe it's the backups aren't working, or let's just say you want to make sure that you have another backup of that machine if you don't trust the way it's backing up. Just periodically take IT Edition full backups every week or so, or every couple of days. And if the reliability of the backups of that server isn't that great, then you have the IT Edition to perform those extra backups. So as you can see, there's a lot of insurance policy stuff that it can do there, as well as a lot of migration, compatibility, The Golden Machine is definitely a very powerful one because a lot of different people need to perform new machine rollouts. Plus, if you've got new employees coming on, it's great to have that golden image somewhere at the side so you can perform the restore onto as many different desktops as you like. So it's really handy. And of course, the last scenario there is for the IT Edition Pro specifically, because you have the backup functionality as well as the Exchange functionality. And if you're exchanging, migrating an Exchange server from 03 to 2013, it's a massive process if you're not using the Pro, whereas with the IT Edition Pro, it's simply a matter of taking the full backup of the Exchange server. Once you've got that backup, open up the GRE console, open up the 2003 Exchange database, connect the new Exchange 2013 server as the target, grab the EDB from the 2003 one, drag it straight down to the Exchange 2013 server, wait for it all to process and copy across, and just like that, you have an Exchange migration. So as you can see from all these different scenarios, we're looking at real-life scenarios where the IT Edition will work and will add value to your IT operations. As you can see, it's definitely a great value-added solution for people who are already using Shadow Protect, but even for clients who might just want to use the IT Edition as a complementary tool to whatever you've got going for backup and DR, as you can see, you can use it in a lot of different ways, a lot of different scenarios. So just to finish off, the IT Edition and the IT Edition Pro are essential tools for a new or existing Shadow Protect user. They, of course, enable backup, recovery, and migration for an unlimited amount of Windows machines. The Pro, of course, is perfect for Exchange migrations as well. It can be used in different scenarios. It enables you to do a lot. And for more information, you can go to our webpage. For pricing, you can contact your reseller or distributor. And of course, you can give us a call on the sales line to discuss it further with us. And before I finalize everything for this demonstration, I'd also like to go through some of the licensing aspects. So we've actually been quite flexible on the licensing. And because you can do unlimited backups, we have, for example, like a month IT Edition or 3-month IT Edition. So if you're planning a migration, you might want to get a month license because you're just going to be using it for a month or maybe even 3 months. However, if you're going to be using it for a lot of different operations, we have year-long subscriptions, for example, which might be a better fit for you. So there's a bit of flexibility there. In addition to that, for anyone who's actually using an IT Edition at the moment but would like to take a look at the IT Edition Pro, we do have ways of upgrading your current IT Edition subscription and giving you access to the IT Edition Pro without a new subscription, just as like a pro-rated add-on to that license. So if you'd like to upgrade your IT Edition to a Pro, or if you'd like to take a look at some pricing for the IT Edition or the Pro, then feel free to get in touch with us. Excellent. Thank you very much for attending the webinar today. I hope you found it informative and speak to you soon. Bye.